Hi everyone, it's Son from Living with Parkies. I hope you're well. So today is probably going to be my last post before I actually have my deep brain stimulation surgery, which is tomorrow. So this afternoon I'm going into hospital. I arrived in Melbourne yesterday, and I just wanted to put a couple of little things in this clip which just might be of use for people, just things to be aware of. So first, that if you're going to have deep brain stimulation or any sort of major surgery really, and you have to travel interstate or into a major regional centre, you might be able to access travel assistance through your state government. And to me, that's been essential for us, coming from Hobart into Melbourne. So I just wanted to let people know about that. There's usually a process. You have to have it approved, your doctor, referring doctor, apply for it. Then you have to have the receiving doctor sign things off, and you obviously need to put in your own little bits and pieces as well, and receipts. So that's one thing I just wanted to let people know about. Look, it's a big thing. So I'm taking 8 weeks off work. You're not allowed to drive for 6 weeks after surgery. And recovery time can vary, obviously, but my neurologist said anywhere minimum sort of 6 to 8 weeks. So because I work as a counsellor, and it's pretty intense when you're working with people, you really need to be present and able to give your energy and yourself to them. I've decided to go for the 8 weeks off work, which obviously has its own implications because I've got about 2 weeks worth of leave in total, and that's all my rec leave and personal leave and everything else, because I haven't been there very long. So that's another whole consideration, which can make life pretty tricky because you've actually got to survive through that time. So that's another thing to be aware of. For us, coming from interstate, we've had to leave our children behind so they can continue with schooling and keep in their routines, because that would have potentially been more disruptive for them. We are completely blessed. We're so fortunate that our children have been able to stay in our home, and we've had some very close friends with their kids move in for that time, and they're also being supported by family and also friends of ours and friends in our wonderful community of Taroona. And it really shows, it takes a village. I don't know what it is, but it's always the children that make me cry. Anyway, so there's been different other things that we've needed to think about. So yeah, making sure you've got your work stuff, making sure you've got all your bills organised, making sure you've spoken to your health fund to make sure that that's all in place and all the numbers are, within your type of cover. It's also been really important. I had to go through a process of, they call it decolonising, which is basically reducing the amount of potentially dangerous bacteria and so on your skin to reduce the risk of like a staph infection. So that's been sort of for the last 3 days. It's fine, but you just feel a bit sort of, skin's a bit dry and a bit unpleasant. Nothing retrograde, but, so that's something else you have to be aware of. And quite a process because, using fresh towels every day, do lots of washing, hot water and all that sort of thing. I mentioned I arrived yesterday, and that was because of the COVID requirements. So I just had to do a rat test and then isolate from that time on. So I did that yesterday and sent that through. And to be honest, it's been quite a blessing. It's been lovely because Andrew, my husband, and I have just been able to actually have a bit of chill out time, which is not something we've been able to do over the last couple of months. It's been absolutely hectic. And I think that's the thing when when you're working, it's probably the case for anybody, but I think when you're working and you've got kids, it's even more to sort out in your mind when you know you're going to be off work for a period of time, and particularly interstate and removed from your children, because there's so much to sort of work through. And the other thing I'd like just to leave people with is also thinking about, well, you know, this is, in the end, even though the risks are low, it's still major sort of surgery. So how do we manage that for our kids? We're bringing our children over for a couple of trips, which is really important and something to look forward to, and that's been really essential. We chat face-to-face, like online, multiple times a day. A really good friend of mine, thank you, Jan, suggested that I do like a nighttime clip, so that they can watch it, you know, is it like a good night? And I went through that yesterday with my kids, and that was a really special thing to do. So, and I think that will give them a lot of comfort because they can look at that anytime. It was certainly a lovely thing for us to look at yesterday. And, you know, tonight I think I'll probably write them a letter just in case things don't go well. My husband and I also had a bit of a chat last night about what I want to happen should anything not go well. That's something that we'll, you know, and that was all good, but that's probably something we'll go back over again in the hospital, because I mean, I think it's one of those things about being forewarned, you know, like you have to be prepared, and then hopefully you never have to use it. But I really, you know, I think probably the most beautiful part of this whole process, if there, you know, there's always a silver lining. Doesn't mean I want the cloud, but you have to appreciate the silver lining when you get it, is how the kindness of people, the kindness of us, you know, as teachers, our colleagues, our friends, people just reaching out, beautiful cards, gifts, thoughts, wishes, calls, you know. It means a lot. No person is an island, so, you know, it's yeah, it's been a tricky, beautiful, interesting, challenging, heartfelt experience. So anyway, I'll probably stick a photo of hospital, but I reckon otherwise I'll see you on the other side. Here's hoping to a new and improved Son. Okay, cheers, bye.